Hey, hey. So today let's talk about tennis elbow. And we are going to specifically talk about three easy tips to heal from your tennis elbow faster without resting forever. Now, as an executive mom, your time is the most valuable asset. When your elbow pain slows you down, whether it is from typing, lifting groceries, or even carrying your child, it's more than just an inconvenience to have that nagging pain in the background all the time. Now, with tennis elbow, it impacts everything from your productivity at work to the comfort to every single activity that you do, really. Now, if you've been struggling with tennis elbow and you really want to move forward, you don't have to just wait it out because usually you will hear people tell you to rest your elbow or to let the body heal itself. And you will get such advice, which works really well when you're in that acute phase or that extremely painful initial stage of tennis elbow. However, it does not lead to only rest does not lead to that recovery that you're looking for in tennis elbow. So, in today's video, let's discuss three easy ways to speed up your recovery from tennis elbow. And this is not just stretch, strengthen, etc., though I do talk about it a little bit, but these will help you to get back to your daily activities faster, and it's something that you can implement starting right now. Now, before we get into the topic for today, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal and joint pain, basically their neck, back, and nerve pain. I also talk about things like tennis elbow and heel pain because that's something that I suffered from. And if I'm not careful, sometimes it does tend to come back even now, but not with such intensity as it did in the earlier days or in the previous years that I've had it. So, yeah, and I talk about all of these without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we are moms, we are busy people, right? I also had another issue along with my tennis elbow, which is called adrenal fatigue. And the main symptoms that I had was lack of energy and low energy levels and lack of focus. And when you have these two, it is very difficult to address any pains or discomforts in the body because that mainly takes up the majority of your time and the brain space, really. So, anyway, without taking more of your time, let's get back into the topic for today, which is three easy tips to heal faster from tennis elbow without resting forever. Now, what you need to know is rest, as I was saying before, rest alone won't speed up your recovery. Now, rest has its place, as I said, in the acute stage of tennis elbow, but stopping activity altogether, that many people do because they think they're resting their elbow, often leads to more stiffness and weakness in your forearm, your arm, even your hands in the long run. Now, to truly recover, you need the right kind of movement. So, what can you do? Incorporate gentle, guided exercises to restore the strength and flexibility in your forearm and wrist muscles. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know um, the exercises for your tennis elbow. If you don't, then you can refer back to this blog that I have written on the same topic. The blog is called Three Easy Ways to Speed Up Your Recovery from Tennis Elbow and Get Back to Daily Activities Faster. So I just read that out for you from the blog. So in that blog, I talk a little bit about the exercises. And also in that same blog, I talk about 8 easy tips to start exercising with tennis elbow. So those are more specific tips for exercises. So if when you have tennis elbow and somebody tells you, or your doctor or your healthcare professional tells you, okay, let's get down to exercises, it does not mean you go to the gym and start lifting heavy weights with your arm or forearm or your hand. I mean, to focus on this area, you have to go really guided, slow exercises. Anyway, going back to that blog, I will leave a description of that blog in the comments of this video. If you're watching me on Instagram, you can find the link in my bio. If you are a busy mom like me and you can't find it, or really you can't be bothered to look for the link, it's okay. Just message me, drop a comment below, and I will send it across to you. All right, so going back to what I was saying about rest. So, another thing that you need to be careful about is you need to avoid repetitive strain. But the exercises that you do, you want to be doing that in the pain-free range. For example, if I'm doing something as simple as moving my wrist up and down like this, and suppose I go up and this is painful, you want to stop just before the pain starts. You don't want to push into the pain. It's okay to feel that stretch, but it's not okay to feel that acute pain. So try not to get into those painful ranges. Obviously, of course, your physiotherapist or your healthcare professional is guiding you. That's different. But when you're doing exercises on your own, try not to get into the pain-free range and avoid repetitive activities. Okay, I don't have my mouse here because actually I'm on a holiday, but I guess you can't tell with a virtual background. So I'm not at home, so I don't have my mouse. But if, for example, if I was, say, holding the mouse and I do this clicking action all the time, so you want to avoid those repetitive activities with your finger or your hand or forearm because the repetitive activities will repeatedly stress the tendon that is going into your outer part of your elbow, and that's where your tennis elbow problem lies. So you want to take breaks in between. Of course, if you have to type, you have to, but take breaks in between. Anyway, moving on. So you want to, one was about the rest. The second thing I want to talk about is address the root cause, not just the symptoms. Now, tennis elbow, as I was saying, is usually triggered by repetitive stress, poor postures, muscle imbalances in your arm, shoulder, and neck area, not just the forearm and wrist and hand. If you treat only the pain without correcting these issues in your shoulder and neck area, suppose you have this tightness in the neck because of which you are always, for example, if you have a poor posture, excuse me, poor posture like a forward head posture where you are, if you look at me sideways, where you are always protruding your neck, so your head is sitting forward in relation to your torso or your body. If you are always in this poor posture, to compensate for the forward head posture, we have to always round our shoulders. And then comes the mid back slouching, then comes this tightness that creeps along down in the into your arm and forearm. So you see how poor posture will be related to your tennis elbow pain, how pain in your neck, shoulder, etc., because of the poor posture is again related to your tennis elbow. So if you are just treating your tennis elbow, your forearm and wrist fingers pain, but you're not treating up here, up the chain into your neck and shoulders, it's not going to give you the long-term benefits that you're looking for. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is the daily micro shifts. They matter more than you think. So you may think if you do one big exercise or a big chunk of exercises, that's going to really help you. Yes, probably. But your little habits that you do throughout the day also gradually build up and help you recover from your tennis elbow. So what I mean is you don't need hours and hours of exercise or rehab. What you need is a daily plan that fits into your existing routine, especially when you're a busy, busy mom. Okay. So, what you could do is 5 minutes mobility breaks. You can take these throughout the day. Now, I will explain to you further. Um, what I mean by mobility breaks is you could do some desk-based exercises. For example, when you have been writing or typing a lot and you start to feel the tension build up, you probably just want to do some activity like moving your wrist up and down, side to side, or you want to just lock your your fingers and then do some rotation movements. You want to do some rolling at the shoulders, etc. Now, if you're looking for more detailed exercises, I have a free video guide that takes you through from exercises from your hairline here, so from your cervical spine down to your toes. It's a free video guide. You can access that again in the blog that I was talking about before. The link to the blog will be in the description of this video. All right, moving on. So you can also support your recovery by making sure, as we were saying about poor posture, making sure you do posture resets and you have forearm friendly desk ergonomics. So what I mean is whatever is on your desk. Say if you have a computer, you have a notebook, you have a mouse pad, keyboard, all these need to be set in a certain way so you're not putting any excessive strain on your arm, forearm, elbow, wrist, etc. Now, again, the details of that can be found in the blog that I was talking about. Okay. So basically, you don't need to push through the pain or putting your life on a hold, really. A clear supportive plan can help you recover from that tennis elbow and get you back to doing what you love, with confidence, not just thinking, oh my God, am I going to get pain when I do this? You don't have that constant fear or that nagging pain behind every activity you do. So, if you are looking for a proven plan to recover from your tennis elbow, you can have a look at my course on tennis elbow pain relief. That gives you fast, sustainable results without really sacrificing your whole daily schedule. Again, I will leave a link to the course. It is okay. It is not a very high priced course because I want it to be accessible. It's not because it's low value. It's just low priced because I want everybody to access it, and I want to help you with the tips and tricks that have helped me in my pain journey, in my tennis elbow pain journey. Alrighty, so I will leave a link to that course in the blog that I talked about. The link to the blog will be in the description of this video. Instagram, you'll find the link in my bio. Can't find it, just message me and I'll send it to you. Alrighty, I hope this was useful because these are easy tips, but believe me, they are very effective. They have worked for me and I hope they will work for you too. Alrighty, I'll see you guys next time. If you have any questions, any comments, just leave them in the comments below and I will address them.